Satan! What have you done to my wife? In nomine Patris et Filii. I am Lord Dracula Tepesh. You will tell me why this thing has happened to my wife. The witch. Lisa Tepesh was a woman of the sciences. You took that which I love. So I will take from you everything you have, and everything you have ever been. 1 year.
Ancestor vampire, Vladimir Dracula Tep. He fell in love with a daring, science-savvy, humanitarian woman named Lisa.
What have you to trade for my knowledge? Lisa from Lupu.
Perhaps I could help you relearn some manners. I've crossed the threshold of your home and you haven't offered me a drink or even to take my coat.
What if I took a drink from you?
The woman softened Dracula's view of people, until the church declared the woman a witch and burned her at the stake. Thus, people created their own Antichrist, Vladimir Count Dracula Teeps.
Your fault, but if you can hear, they don't know what they're doing. Be better than them, please.
Chapter 1, Antichrist Metaphor. One of the most touching aspects of Dracula is his relationship with his wife. The murder of his wife by humans caused him to go crazy. Thus began Dracula's descent into darkness. His sole goal has become to destroy the human race. His plan was genocide. His wife's death represents the loss of his last connection to humanity, and it pushes him to seek revenge at any cost. In addition, the death of his wife drags him into the grip of nihilism. He adopts an extreme ideology of completely destroying the human race. Dracula is a complex and tragic figure torn between his love for his wife, his hatred for humanity, and his own inner turmoil.
For my love, kill for the only true love I ever knew. Kill for the endless lifetime of hate before me.
Part 2 reflects the classic vampire figure. Dracula is tall. He is aristocratic. He is a lord and commander. His black cloak flowing down his back adds a sense of drama and mystery to his look. His long wavy hair and beard emphasize his aristocratic and wise lineage. His pointy ears make his inhuman nature even more obvious. It distinguishes him from ordinary mortals. Dracula's nose is hooked and arched. This nose structure emphasizes his evil and sinister nature. It has a long face, which further enhances its otherworldly appearance. All of these elements are the ingredients that form the literary origins and iconic cinematic vampire Dracula.
I've known you 2 minutes, and you offer for me to walk the earth like an ordinary peasant, while I give you the knowledge of immortals.
Part 3, Hitler Connection. The murder of his wife by the people of Wallachia makes us empathize a little with his desire for revenge. However, his grief turns into a desire for the complete destruction of humanity. This is where the Hitler aspect comes into play. While Dracula's pain is understandable, his plan to destroy all humans is portrayed as extreme and ultimately unjust. Of course, this may seem acceptable from a romantic perspective. However, within a realistic framework, the idea of destroying all humanity is frivolous.
I gave you while I assembled my armies, and now I bring your death. You have your chance.
Chapter 4, Personality Portrait. Dracula has a depth that reflects his complex and often tormented nature. The reason for this lies primarily in its tragic origins. Although his past is uncertain, it is full of pain and loss. Vampire transformation phase. The death of his beloved wife Lisa at the hands of people who accused her of witchcraft or heresy. Lots of wars and destruction. These are the components that make him the Dracula he is today. Dracula's hatred of humanity forms the main theme of the series. He sees humans as parasites. Here we see touches of the god complex. He has sadistic tendencies. He seems to take pleasure in people's suffering and destruction. His sadistic tendencies are further evident in his penchant for devising elaborate plans to torment his enemies, as well as his methods of torture and execution. He may exhibit moments of introspection or regret as he struggles with the weight of his actions and the consequences of his choices. While these moments humanize him to a degree, ultimately Dracula is Dracula.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck, everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep, don't give a fuck. Can't stop, unplug, feeling overwhelmed, I think I've had enough. Gotta find a way to get some energy, gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it, I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life with regret and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough, nothing's really clear.
Episode 5, Authority Freak. Dracula has no tolerance for those who question his methods, disrespect, or disobey. He expects absolute loyalty and obedience from his subjects. Any challenge to his authority is met with swift and severe consequences. When Carmilla asks why Dracula did not turn his wife, Lisa Teeps, into a vampire, she assumes that Dracula may have wanted to keep her as a pet. However, this is a misconception. Dracula loved Lisa deeply. The reason he didn't transform Lisa was because it represented humanity itself. Lisa was the only connection to humanity.
Maybe I can teach you to like people again. Or at least tolerate them. Or stop putting them on sticks.
I gave that up a long time ago.
Chapter 6, Two-Way Lovelessness. Although Dracula hates humans, he also has little respect for the vampire race. He sees them as somewhat blood-sucking parasites. He also belittles his own race. He sees them as opportunistic and selfish. Despite being the lord of all vampires, Dracula harbors a deep distrust of his own kind. Chapter 7, Zigzag Concept of Plan. Dracula has a genocidal purpose. However, he is not blindly committed to this idea. Dracula's actions show randomness, influenced by depression and nihilism. He was truly in love with his wife while she was alive. He freed the slaves. It reshaped his worldview in a positive way. In Dracula we see the psychology of a man who destroys everything around him out of grief. It has dispersed. He is not himself. He realizes what he did and what he caused during his battle with his son Alucard. He realizes what a monster he has become. This awareness gives him a momentary mental breakdown, and he lets his son kill him. Episode 8, Dracula is the counterpart of the Head 3. 1. Trevor Belmont, both are noble individuals with ties to dark magic and in conflict with humanity. 2. Sypha Belnades. Sypha and Dracula are powerful magic users with the ability to control fire. 3. Alucard. Alucard's relationship with Dracula is perhaps the most complex, as he is Dracula's son and shares a tragic past with him. Both are vampires who suffered at the hands of humanity, losing loved ones due to prejudice and ignorance. Chapter 9. Ironic Human Love. There is an irony in Dracula's relationships with Lisa and Isaac, given his disdain for humanity in general. Lisa is a generally compassionate and good-hearted person who sees the good in her despite her dark nature. Isaac is an interesting case. He starts out as a blacksmith with the ability to create demonic creatures. Over time, he develops a deep loyalty to Dracula. He sees him as a mentor and father figure. It is ironic that with Dracula's plan to destroy all of humanity, the people he loves most are still humans. This relationship structure demonstrates the intricacies of loyalty, betrayal, and forgiveness in Dracula's world. Today we analyze Dracula from the Castlevania series. We examined its psychological aspects. You can support the continuation of such content by subscribing. Best regards. Take care of yourself.